The first step is you want to have a strong man to woman frame from the beginning, right? You want to show intent. And the easiest way to put that is basically, if you don't have strong intent from the beginning, the girl doesn't really know how to position herself, right? She doesn't know why the fuck you talk to her. So you want to make it very, very clear that you are here with one intent, which is romantic or sexual. Now, that doesn't mean you need to show all your cards or make it super obvious that you're into her, but it needs to be very clear that this is not a platonic, friendly interaction, right? And there's basically two ways to do that, implicit and explicit way. So the explicit way, the first one, is by verbally stating that this is gonna be man to women. So that would look like, hey, you looked absolutely adorable, I had to say hi. Now, obviously, this is a really direct way, which is good because it shows courage, it shows that you have balls and you're not afraid to say what's on your heart and on your mind. But there's also another way to go about it, and it's the implicit way. If you're at the beginning, if you're still starting to really get into this whole dating thing and becoming better with women, it can help in the beginning to be explicit about it because it forces you to really show this intention and not hide like a coward and just say, oh, where is a Starbucks? No. In the beginning, it's cool to be explicit. Implicit would be like, hey, I just had to say hi. What's your name? So basically, it's obvious that this is man to women and that I come not because I want to be friends or because I want to look for a Starbucks, but I'm also not giving so much power away, right? Because I'm stating it in a smoother way than just saying, hey, you look absolutely adorable. So those are the two main ways on how you can show a man to woman frame from the beginning. The second thing is, the second step, and take into account, guys, those are steps, but it's not like math where you need to do these in the exact same order. Yes, you need to first install a man to woman frame, but the other ones can interchange, right? You can have step 4 while doing step 2 and 3, if that makes sense. So step 2 is really having this sexual tension. The first thing is you want to create pauses. I see so many guys that when they talk to a girl, like they want to deliver all their script immediately, and it comes off as a guy who's not sure of himself, who's not certain, because if you're not comfortable with having these awkward moments of just, which is the second point, accepting awkwardness, accepting this, this weird tension, and that's exactly where most guys fail, right? They say stuff like, oh, I just didn't know what to say, so I left the interaction. That's the point. Some moments it will be kind of awkward and the girl will look away. Basically, she's trying to see if you're the kind of guy you pretend you are. Because most guys don't have this, don't have the capacity to stay strong, stay firm in these awkward moments. So you really want to work on accepting this awkwardness and making these pauses. Pauses are not always a bad thing. And the third thing is you want to have intense eye contact. Now, obviously, don't have intense eye contact without smiling. Then you're just a creep. Don't fucking do that. You want to keep it nice, keep it light. And the best way to do that while having eye contact with a girl is just smiling. Smile and everything's going to be fine. So once you installed this man to woman frame and you build some sexual tension, the third thing you want to do is have teasing and challenging conversations. So the biggest mistake most guys make is they don't challenge the girl. They basically communicate to her, hey, I am 100% bought in, and whatever you do, I want to sleep with you. And that is the biggest turnoff to any girl, right? Because she wants to chase you. This is something most girls will not admit, but girls like to be around guys and like to chase guys who don't need their validation. So you want to be playful. You want to have a power dynamic that is more towards your favor, where you're the buyer and you're not selling yourself, right? So she needs to kind of prove herself to you. And you don't want to be too bought in from the beginning. So if she tells you, hey, do you like me? Don't be like, yeah, obviously, that's why I'm on a date with her. Be like, maybe. until now you're doing pretty good, right? You want to keep this light, playful vibe where you're challenging her and you're not making it 100% clear that you like her. The last step is physicality, right? So you want to have some form of touching. Now, where most guys get this wrong is they do the touching in a creepy way, right? They go from 0 to 100. And it's obvious that you have an incentive behind it. You want to start the touching ideally from the beginning of the date, from the first second you see her, right? So when you see her, give her a hug. Don't just be like, hey, and stand there, right? Install some physicality from the beginning. Caressing, at some point you can, gradually escalate the conversation by just having some light contact, right? You can tap her on her shoulder. You can be like, hey, okay. You gotta give me a hug. You gotta check me, right? Make it really smooth and sprinkle the touching and caressing within the conversation, right? You never want to go 0 to 100, which is what most guys do. Now, this obviously is not an extensive list because I just couldn't do that in a few minutes in a video. But if you implement these 4 steps, which is having a man-to-woman strong frame from the beginning, if you have some form of sexual tension, if you tease and challenge her, and if you instill some physicality, trust me, your conversations are gonna go way, way better.